Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino. We are back here to talk some more about another one of this great members of the Traitors Season 3 cast. And we are back here with the guy who knows Traitors like nobody's business. It's Pooya Zambakili. Pooya, how are you?
I am doing good, Rob. Excited for us to dip our toes into the Big Brother realm today and look at someone who I feel like was top of the wish list the minute traders decided to start putting in reality stars. Give us Danielle Reyes. Look
Yes,
at us now.
this is a fun one, and we got a great guest here to talk about the greatest player to never win Big Brother. Of course, to talk about Danielle Reyes, it's Chappell.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank y'all for having me to talk about Danielle. I'm very excited. This is
Chappell.
dope.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun podcast to talk about a legendary Big Brother icon. Chappell, why Danielle Reyes?
Danielle
For
Reyes
you.
is she is my favorite Big Brother player of all time. There is no second. And I mean, it might be Saria's second, I guess, but like Danielle is number one, and it's not even close. I remember when Reindeer Games aired last year, and everyone was like talking about their faves coming back, and each episode was suspenseful, who's going to go into the battle and all this other stuff. And every episode, I was like, as long as it's not Danielle, I don't care. And I mean, I did not waver. I'm talking about people were like, Britney, this, but I don't care. I don't know you. All these mothers that y'all have, I don't know them. My mother is Danielle Reyes. She has been since Big Brother 3, and I'm very excited to be the one who gets to talk about her because I think I can do this justice. I think Pooya is a Traitors expert, but I might be the foremost Danielle Reyes expert.
Okay, all right. Well, very much looking forward to hearing what you have to say. We are here on day 3 of our Traitors Season 3 preseason coverage, and we're going to take you all the way through the Traitors Season 3 premiere coming up on January 9th. Don't miss one day of any of our previews. So help me God, if you miss one day, that's it, okay? Here's how you make sure you don't miss it. Head on over to WeKnowTraitors.com to subscribe to our Traitors podcast feed so you don't miss any of the fun. I'll have all of the Big Brother and Survivor podcasts here with you and Pooya in the main feed. But then once we get to everybody else, you're only going to hear those in our Traitors feed at WeKnowTraitors.com. Okay. Pooya, how are you doing today?
I'm doing very well. I'm very energized, excited. Coffee number 2 has been brewed. It's sitting right here. So, it's been a steady, sweet day.
Okay. All right. Chappell, Danielle Reyes, of course, of Big Brother Season 3. They had to change the whole damn game after she didn't end up winning. They ended up having to create a jury house just after Danielle was robbed in Big Brother 3. She comes back for Big Brother All-Stars. Then a long layoff. Danielle pops up on Reindeer Games. And now here, 12 months later, we have Danielle on the Traitors. Incredible.
Yes. Look, I was excited because it was such a long layoff. A lot of these other traders have played other games since their first time playing reality TV or played reality TV, games within the last decade or so. But it's been so long since we saw Danielle in Big Brother 3 and then in Big Brother 7. And so, after 17 years or so, we get her back.
Something
and
like that.
I'm like, yeah, this is crazy. And so I'm very excited because we're not going to get much Danielle. Like, it doesn't seem like she likes to play a lot of these games out in the open. So she's finally popped out to show us what she can do. And I'm excited to see what's happening.
Okay. So the old heads out there, they need no introduction to Danielle Reyes, but there might be some younger viewers who have just come on to Big Brother these last couple of years, haven't had the chance to go back and watch the old stuff, or certainly some Survivor fans who are not familiar with all of the Big Brother lore. So can you tell us why is Danielle Reyes your favorite Big Brother player of all time?
So for the Survivor fans, I think that the closest avatar to Danielle is probably Sari. Is looked at as the person who should have won, the smartest person who didn't win or something like that. Like Sari is kind of in that same Danielle vibe of like she came into the show and she immediately figures out that like I can pull the string from the background, right? I can find me a nice ally and we can make strategic moves that get us through the game. And she did it so well, and she should have won. But she did it. And so she comes back again as an all-star because why wouldn't she? And she has an uphill battle because people know who she is. They're like, oh, this is Danielle Reyes. Like, this is a big deal. And she still goes far into the game, even with this huge threat. So she is a player who is known for, being able to sit back, be quiet, really observant, and then find somebody she trusts and then just strategically maneuver all the pieces until they fall in line for her while being entertaining, being funny, being very likable, and very foot cutting in confessionals, maybe to her detriment sometimes. And so, yeah, there's a lot to say about Danielle Reyes' game in Big Brother 3 and 7, but she becomes an icon after the first time she plays. Rob, I think she's inspired you to play Survivor.
Yeah, she was my favorite from Big Brother 3, and I really took so much away from the way that she played the game. I took a lot of that into Survivor, the Amazon. I had watched ultimately the finale of Big Brother 3. I was in the casting finals for Survivor, the Amazon. I got to meet Danielle shortly after I played. She's a big Survivor fan and is just still to this day one of my all-time faves. Pooya, going back to Big Brother 3, one of the things that was a huge part of Danielle's strategy was her secret alliance with Jason of, okay, I'm in good with these people. You go get in good with those people over there. And at nighttime, let's play cards and collaborate and compare notes. To me, this is like optimal traitor strategy, no?
This is, if you do the exact same thing and she's a traitor, you meet at the turret, put the cards on the table. Who's got what? You need to work on this person more. I like this person. And then, divide and conquer. And I feel like Danielle definitely has the tools to do that. And I think not just strategically has the tools to do that. I think socially, as someone who's just like a moth to a flame. I feel like you're attracted there. You want to go there. You want to talk to her. You want to chop it up. And I definitely liken her chances, Rob. And to me, of everybody on this cast, Danielle's my number one pick to be picked to be a traitor.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Chappell, what do you think of that? Danielle Reyes, the traitor.
I'm torn because on the one hand, like Pooya said, it's so obvious to pick Danielle as a traitor.
Yes.
If you're familiar with her work, she played a traitor's game in season 3. She already did this before. We've seen it happen, like exactly what you said. She found another ally, a potential, like another traitor, and they infiltrated everybody's alliance, and then they just whittled everybody down until it was just the two of them, and then two unsuspecting people who should not have won. But we've already seen her do that. So we know that that's something that she's capable of, something that she would be good at, something that she would even want to do. But I think if you're a faithful and you're looking for a traitor, you start your search at Danielle Reyes. So I'm very torn in like whether I want this to be for her or not.
Well, maybe obvious for us, the fans, of how great she would be as somebody who would be one of the traitors. But outside of Britney Haynes, I'm not sure there's anybody else in this cast that knows who Danielle Reyes is.
Yeah, but that's the problem. Britney Haynes does know who Danielle Reyes is, and she's not going to be quiet about it. If Britney Haynes is a faithful and Danielle Reyes is a traitor, if Britney Haynes is a faithful, she's going to be pointing the attention to Danielle Reyes almost immediately. They played together in reindeer games, and it didn't go well. And so I feel like there's going to be a little tension there because Danielle will not forget that Britney Haynes betrayed her in reindeer games, and I could definitely see that happening here in the Traitors as well.
Chappell, can you speak to that and tell us, give us a little bit of a reset of how that went down with Danielle and Britney?
Oh yeah. So in the reindeer games, every round we had like a little mini challenge, and then everybody would get thrown into whatever the Jingle Bell challenge of the week was, or whatever they called it. And it was basically a knockout challenge. Like you lose that challenge, you get sent home. And in this particular round, it was like it was very interesting because I think Nicole Franzel wins immunity or whatever, and she has to choose the order in which people are going to do this maze puzzle, and each person would have less time than the previous person to do the maze puzzle. Britney Haynes is like, I don't do challenges. Please don't put me in. Danielle is like, I don't do challenges. Please don't put me in. Nicole puts in Frankie. Frankie completes the challenge. Frankie's like, I want to take out Xavier. So let's throw Xavier in. Xavier barely completes the challenge. So Xavier is trying to protect Danielle. He's like, all right, now's the time. We got to shoot at Britney. So he puts Britney Haynes in the challenge. But Britney is campaigning to get Danielle put in. She's like, nah, don't pick me. Pick Danielle. Because if she goes in there, she'll lose. And then we don't have to worry about this anymore. So Britney goes in. And to everybody's like surprise, she completes the challenge too. But now the next person who goes only has like 2 minutes or so to finish this maze.
Yeah,
and
each person had less and less time
One
after.
less, yeah.
Right. And so Danielle's got like 2.5 minutes to finish this maze. She's like, this is a death sentence for me. Brittany thought the last round 3 minutes was a death sentence for her. Danielle's like, no, there's no way I'm gonna get this done in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Taylor hell even she volunteers. Taylor's like, put me in. I got it. I'll protect Danielle. Put me in, and then I'll take the hit. And Brittany like, nah, it's got to be Danielle because she thinks Danielle's working with Xavier. But Brittany already had been watching Danielle throughout the season. So Danielle going in, she's a very loyal player. That's one thing about Danielle Reyes. She will find her person and ride it out with that person till the wheels fall off. She don't mind losing to her person either. But with Brittany, I think Danielle thought she had like an understanding. They're two OGs. They've been here a while, you know, they kind of like a women's alliance thing. And Brittany threw her to the wolves the first chance she got. So yeah, I don't see them working together well if Danielle has anything to do with it.
Chappell, thank you so much. And
You're
just to pull back the curtain a little bit, we have not recorded all of these in order. And so we have already recorded, Pooya and I, the Britney Haynes preview. And you will hear in a couple of days, we did not remember that as well as you did just now.
Oh, I remember a lot of things about Danielle Reyes' game and Big Brother and all 3 iterations of Big Brother that she played. And I just wanted to highlight that although she's my favorite Big Brother player, she does have flaws. Like her loyalty is a flaw in her game. You know, it has done her dirty in Big Brother 7. It kind of did her dirty in Big Brother 3 as well. You know, like she lost for other reasons in Big Brother 3 too. But she's always going to be a loyal player. And I think once you burn her, she will now turn her back on you. And so I think that it's very important for me to highlight that Brittany's there, but that's definitely not a natural ally all the time. They might work together, but I'd be shocked if Danielle forgot how it went last time.
How did Danielle's loyalty hurt her in those other games?
Well, in Big Brother 3, she was loyal to another person named Jason. That was her secret alliance. And Jason is like a youth pastor. And I'm not even saying that like as a metaphor, like he's literally a youth pastor. I think he's like 25. She's 30 at the time. And so they're like, oh, no one would think this, you know, this black mom, you know, young mom would be working with this white youth pastor, you know, who's 22 years old. No one's going to see us coming. And they don't. The problem is everyone loves Jason. Everyone loves Jason. And Danielle's like, no, I'm gonna take Jason as far as I can into the game because I don't mind losing to him. And it's happening throughout. And so although she's strategically maneuvering her way to the end with her final 2, she's also going to lose the game if she gets to the final 2 with him. And it's very obvious to anybody else who's paying attention. And about halfway through Big Brother 3, she picks up another straggler and the ultimate winner of the season, Lisa Donahue. And Lisa is another one who Danielle should really not be taking to the final 2, but she's so loyal. She's picked up this piece and she's like, oh, I got another Jason now. So now I got this Jason, I got that Jason, and I love them both. I don't mind losing to both of them. So she's sitting at the final 3 with these 2 people who are going to mop the floor with her just because she's so loyal. There's another person. There's literally a 4th person she could have took. Man, there's a 5th person. Marcellus is right there. Amy's right there. She could have beat these people and she was willing to go lose to 2 people who were just vastly more locked in the game and more likable than these other options were. And she chose the other route. And so, yeah, definitely some big flaws in Danielle's game. And don't get me started on Big Brother 7.
Okay. Well, before you get started on Big Brother 7, Pooya, how about loyalty as a trait in the game, The Traitors? Because I definitely could see where you need to stay loyal to your people, but not knowing when to cut bait, I think, is probably a big factor for a lot of these games.
Oh, for sure. Especially if you are a traitor, keeping a loyal number early is good because if they don't vote for you at the round table, bless, that's great. And if they're not saying your name, even better. But when you get closer to the end of the game, a lot of people start thinking, why am I still here? Who's keeping me in? Who's my angel? And if they can point the finger at you, and if they're sly about it, they'll keep it quiet and just go ride with you to the end and cut you when you least expect it. So it is all about knowing the timing to when to cut your allies that you may not need anymore, the pieces along the way. So that is definitely a complex web to weave, so to speak.
Yeah,
Now,
and she's the Black Widow. You know, she calls herself that, even though that's the part that she has a struggle navigating. You know, it's like, how do I cut these people that I love so much? You know, when she's cutting Marcellus, I mean, it's a death blow, and he needed it, but at the same time, it's like, did you have to do it like you did it, and then did you have to do it right now, or maybe could you save them a little bit? Same thing for, you know, leaving Lisa and Jason both in the game. Yeah, you love them to death, but don't you want to win this money? You know, like, for her, it's almost like it's a business trip, but it really becomes like very personal to her in a lot of ways when it comes to her allies. And so if she's aligned with a faithful, there's definitely probably going to be at least one faithful that's sticking around a little bit too long for everybody's liking, and that she probably should have cut a little bit later. I mean, a little bit earlier, but hopefully she's learned from her past mistakes.
okay. And it goes without saying that also then the fact that the jury could see the confessionals, and she said that Roddy was the devil in the confessional, and then everybody took that really seriously and didn't want to vote for her in the end. Also a big factor in why she doesn't win the game.
Yeah, but again, she was probably going to lose without that. Had they even not been able to see that, she still was going to be sitting next to the youth pastor who hadn't pissed nobody off, or Lisa, who was aligned with all the people that Danielle got voted out. She was building, basically, she was making her path to victory so much harder when she could have just took Amy, who they had already voted out once. Like, it was right there. Marcellus, who basically just was like, just stumbling his way to the end, was right there. And so it's like her loyalty really does blind her from the ultimate mission. Now, you're right. They do end up, for the people who are not familiar, yeah, the jury back then, they could see everything. They could watch the show, go home, talk about it. They could conspire against her, and boy, did they do it. They were not happy with Danielle, but she knew going into the final three she was going to lose. It's not like she was shocked, like, oh my God, y'all saw what I said about y'all? Nah, she went in like, oh, yeah, Lisa, I got something to tell you. You're not going to be happy when you find out about this one. And Lisa was like, girl, you did what? You know, like, everybody else was shocked that Danielle was losing, but not Danielle. She knew what she was doing.
Okay. So, Chappell, I remember Big Brother 3 extremely well. Big Brother 7 is a little foggy for me. So could you tell us a little bit about Danielle and what went wrong for her in Big Brother 7? The first All-Stars?
There's a lot that went wrong in Big Brother 7 for Danielle, but first All-Stars. Because one, she's the only person from her season that ends up on that season. I think there was like a vote as well, and like Lisa could have come in. Well, I think Marcellus is
Marcellus, there too,
but no, listen, we'll get to that. Danielle comes in one deep, and here's why. Marcellus has not forgiven the sins of Big Brother 3, so he's coming in as a natural enemy to her. So that's number one. That's the first problem. Second, she's like, I don't really pregame like that. You know, like if people reach out, I'll hear them, but I'm not doing a lot of the pregaming. And the pregaming in Big Brother 7 was heavy. Okay. The community was a lot smaller. They knew each other, and they knew each other. They all did. You know, two people, Chilltown, they come in literally knowing each other and being in business with each other, being best friends, wearing t-shirts that said Chilltown, you know, and so she's going up against that with somebody like Marcellus, who's like, I want her out of the game first. So she comes in with a huge target. Everybody knows she's this evil villain and that she kind of thrives in being that. And she has to figure out a way of navigating that. And it's tough because you have other seasons that have 4 people in them, like season 6, you know, and season 5 had 3 people, I believe. So she's up against a mountain anyway. And she finds herself up on the block. For the first time, she played the entire game of Big Brother, never getting nominated. Season 7, week 1, Danielle's on the block because what is she gonna do? You know, she's so wolfy, you know, like she's like very clearly a villain. And so she's able to navigate that, get herself out of that, and then later on kind of weasel her way into an alliance called the Legion of Doom that is supposed to take down season 6. It was crazy. Ultimately, she's outplayed because Chilltown is there. Dr. Will, the greatest Big Brother player of all time, yeah, I said it, is there.
Star of Dondi.
Star of Deal or No Deal Island season 2. Yeah, he's there and he's running circles around the competition with his buddy Mike Boogie, and there's just nothing she can do. And again, she's betrayed by loyalty. She's looking at one of your old friends, Rob, Erica Landon, as like, hey, you're my new Jason. And Erica Landon's like, but I like Mike Boogie a lot. And she's betrayed because Erica Landon's in a showmance. And Danielle goes out furious because to her, she cannot understand the strategic merit of getting rid of her. She's like, I would ride or die for you, girl. What are you doing? But again, you know, the showmance had superseded whatever relationship she thought she had with Erica, and she just wasn't able to see it. She wasn't able to peep it. So she ends up going out, right before the end game.
All right, Pooya. So with all that in mind, how do you feel like Danielle is going to be as a faithful?
In the event that Danielle is a faithful, I feel really good. And here's why. Everything that Chappell just painted can work both ways for Danielle, which is why I think she's a very strong cast member to have, because we just talked at length about her Big Brother 3 journey, being silent, being hidden, being in the shadows. If you play a faithful game like that, that's brilliant. You avoid getting murdered. You're figuring out who the people are. You're maybe not sharing that information, and you can ride that wave for a distance. And if in all that time you make friends along the way, someone who happens to be a traitor, I could see Danielle getting recruited. I think she's got everything necessary. And the other extra thing, because obviously we're watching her and we are in awe of her. We know the history. We know the lore. We know the resume. But I think another thing that goes into play for her strengths, Rob, is that she is not, like, outside of Reindeer Game, she has not been around in a minute on any of these shows. And I think that helps greatly. Yes, Britney is the one person who knows the stuff, but everything, Chappell, that you pointed out and reminded us of, I think that, if anything, Britney's the one that's going to be chasing the apology or making sure they're cool. So I don't think Britney's going to get up there and pull out a megaphone and be like, by the way, Danielle did this, because that's putting them both on the radar. I don't think that's going to happen at the very beginning, at the very least. So I think she can just hide in plain sight. I really do.
Yeah, I think she would be a better faithful than a traitor. I know it's probably like sacrilege to think, because she is the original traitor. I mean, Big Brother 3 was just a masterclass in just how to do exactly what she did. But the problem here is that as a faithful, she's so perceptive. That's her superpower. Like, people talk about her strategy, but she always knows where the pieces are. That's why the Erica thing threw her off, because she was like, what am I missing? Why would you want to go to the end with Chilltown? Because Erica thought she was about to get married to Chilltown. Like that was weird. But when it's come down to like season 3, Danielle's she at no point is she in the majority alliance. She is in an alliance of 2, and she can see the majority alliance forming around her, and she can tell, okay, those people are working together, these people are working together. And so as a faithful, she can probably start to peep, okay, I think those 2 people maybe have a good relationship, or these 2 people never talk. In Big Brother 7, I believe she was the first person who sussed out the Mr. and Mrs. Smith alliance. Do you remember that, Rob?
Who is that? That's is it?
That would be Jason, Diane.
Yeah.
Jason and Diane are not speaking in the game. They're literally never in the same room. And Danielle says in confessional, I feel like that's an alliance. I feel like it's called Mr. and Mrs. Smith, because I heard Jason call her Angelina Jolie once, and then she said something else, but they're never talking together. And she was right. She was dead ass correct. Like, how do you suss that out and come up with the name of the alliance as well? But that's her thing. She can sit back, keep her eyes open and her mouth closed, and pay attention and learn these things and pick up on these traits. And she would be very good at nicing up to another one of the traitors, right? And like really getting close to them and being like, no, let me help you play the game, even though they already know. That's her thing. She's got strategic prowess, but she knows how to maneuver herself in the game like none other.
Now, Chappell, I know that Danielle is a longtime Survivor fan, and I think that that's going to be very interesting, her relationship with the survivors. I think that she knows who they all are. I don't think that any of them know who she is.
Okay, so who are our survivors in this season? Is it Tony?
We have Tony, Rob, Jeremy, and Carolyn.
Okay, so Carolyn might know. But I don't know if anybody's gonna listen to Carolyn.
She might. She may know. But I don't know Carolyn's a big Brother person. Yeah.
Yeah, but she's been in these reality TV streets. She was in the online, like she's in the community, so she knows. Sure. Jeremy don't know. Tony don't know. But I don't know about Boston Rob, because he
may have known the name. I don't think Boston Rob has ever watched more than an hour of Big Brother in his life.
I don't think so, but I think for Boston Rob and Danielle, their heyday of their reality TV career was really around the same time. Rob, that's the same time. Like that was when it was, like Pooya says, it was so much more. It was tighter. There was only so many options. Rob, you came on and you were citing Danielle's games.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of like, okay, so is Boston Rob at any sort of like
CBS
All-Stars,
right?
like reality events? Like, yeah,
Even
that is
after
possible. I wasn't
All-Stars.
even thinking about that.
Yeah,
Also,
they-
I do think that that from the Boston area, I think that Rob definitely knows Mike Boogie, and I wonder if there's maybe some sort of like crossover of at least checking out what Mike Boogie has going on in Survivor All-Stars. So Rob may have some familiarity with Danielle.
Yeah, but I think Rob is the type to want to work with somebody like Danielle. I think Danielle would want to work with somebody like Boston Rob, because that's the thing. She's a super fan and she was in this community. You can't tell me that she's never once tiptoed and be like, I wonder if I can meet Boston Rob at this event. Like, I wonder if I can make that connection. She's been dying. If she hasn't been dying to meet Boston Rob, she's going to fangirl the moment she sees him, because she's such a big Survivor fan.
Should be excited.
Yeah, I think that might be her landing spot, or it could be the person who can expose her game for what it is.
Yeah. I do think that, Rob may be a little bit more like suspicious of her being such a good player. I really feel like that the Survivor relationship that I think has the best chance to work is Jeremy. Jeremy had, like, we just watched in San Juan del Sur. He's working with all the different women on his tribe, that everybody loves Jeremy. I feel like that Jeremy is like a nice, stable ally for Danielle.
Jeremy would be such a devastating traitor, because I don't think anybody would see it for Jeremy, because he's so stable. Like you said, he's just, that's not what you get from him. You just get faithful vibes from him. Like everybody wants to work with him. It doesn't come off overly schemy. Like I think that, like, and I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty much the detective of the group anyway. When you start asking him questions, he's very observant. But I think he could be a blind spot for somebody like Danielle, because she's going to look at Jeremy and see all the same positive traits that we see. And she's going to say, that's my new Jason. And then if Jeremy's a traitor, I'm like, no, Danielle, go the other way. Like, stop it. No, he's not your new Jason. Get away from him. So, I think that would be a great ally to have, as long as Jason, they're on the right side. If they're on different sides, I could see that ending very poorly for her.
Pooya, I am really interested to see how the Danielle-Tony relationship goes, because I feel like that Tony, like, as a player, like, yeah, he's very shrewd. He's a great player, but he has a little bit of like Hurricane Howie in him too.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I'm telling you, if everything hits the fan, right? If there's a world where I'm like, okay, I don't see an end game for Danielle, I don't see an end game for Tony, please let them point fingers at each other at the round table one time. One time for the one time. I want to see that confrontation. That would be very fun. I think these two will have very fun conversations. I can already picture the confessionals we're going to get from Danielle talking about Tony and something he does in the middle of the mission, or in that little like bar room afterwards. So it's only going to be TV gold that they're going to be mining, Rob. So I'm here for it.
Yeah. It would be hard for me to see Danielle turning on someone, but like Tony might be the guy, because it would be like a reason why is that he's just so erratic, or he did something and it just doesn't make sense to her. Because the one thing she can't do is fake it. Once Danielle is out on you, that's it. The reason why she's eliminated in Big Brother 7 is because Dr. Will betrays James Ryan, and he betrays James, and Danielle's like, wait a minute, I think this Chill Town thing is the problem here. I'm coming after Will. And she goes to Will, and they have the most legitimate, like, you would think it was two faithfuls talking. She's like, no, Will, I understand. Will's like, I apologize. It was good for my game. She's like, no, I understand. Everything's perfectly fine. Will gets a confessional, and he's like, yeah, she's on to me. She gets it. I like she's so good that the fact that she's not on to me tells me that she's on to me and she needs to go next. So it's like her whole demeanor changes when she's betrayed, and she can't fight it. She can't hide it. She could try, but if you're a savvy player like a Dr. Will, maybe even a Tony, or maybe Jeremy, you could probably pick up on the hints that then you've lost Danielle, and if you lose Danielle, you might want to get her before she gets you, because she's coming.
Okay, so just to circle back to where we were at with reindeer games, I think we talked about, Britney, if she is trying to get Danielle out. But do we think that Danielle is going to be targeting Britney after reindeer games?
If Danielle is a faithful and she gets the inkling that Britney is doing something that's a little off, she will come for Britney. She's not going to hesitate because she's not going to forget that Britney betrayed her. If they're both traitors, yeah, I think Britney's dead. I think Britney is. I don't think Danielle's gonna forget. I just don't, because it's the way she takes defeat. She's not a sore loser, But if it doesn't make sense logically for her, then she's going to hold on to that. I remember when Britney puts Danielle up, she's like, I don't understand why you're picking me. I would have never come for you. What are you doing? So she's like pouting on the way out. And Big Brother 7, they were like, she lost her mind because she's like knocking on the door trying to talk to Erica. Like, girl, you about to put me up? Are you serious? You know, it's just like there's that little trigger that she has where it's like, nah, I didn't like that. It doesn't make sense to me. And now it's got to be you instead of me. And so she probably wouldn't be thinking of Britney as a natural enemy. But if they ever at odds, I think yeah, it's going to be a battle. And whoever comes up on top is going to, you know, probably be Danielle 9 times out of 10. Especially if she's been being as observant and moving the way she normally moves. But Britney's very likable. So I can see that being tough to overcome because you got to get people to vote Britney out. And that might be hard.
Pooya, how do you think that Danielle meshes with all of the other reality stars that are there, the non-CBS reality stars, the housewives, and all these other folks that are here?
I really think well. I think the combination of the wild era that the reality TV realm was when Danielle was on it, and also the way the housewives carry themselves, the shenanigans they get into. I think there's going to be a lot of stories being swapped. I think that Danielle could be seen as a natural person to try and bring over to your side. And I feel like for Danielle, it's a prime opportunity to infiltrate that side and to rock with them. So if we fully subscribe to this idea that Danielle's going to find a person, divide and conquer, that's exactly where Danielle's setting up shop, is amongst the housewives. Similar to, you know, what we saw happen with Sandra last season, I feel like.
Oh yeah, that's probably a good call too, because she's good at teaching other people how to be Danielle. You know, like that's her thing. She goes and finds her Jason, and then she'll make another Jason, and then she'll make another Jason, and you know that she's with you because she's telling you, no, I trust you. I looked you dead in your eyes, and it's me and you to the end. Remember? And if you know her game, she's like, remember Jason? I did this already. Like, this is my move. This is all I do. And so for the housewives who don't really know the game well, they're probably waiting on somebody to take them under their wings in a way that Tony would never, in a way that Jeremy probably would never. Jeremy can't play with people who don't know how to play the game. You know, he's looking for people who are savvy like him. But Danielle, she's probably looking for some sheep to lead to the slaughter, or at least to kind of insulate her as she goes to win the game.
Chappell, is there anything else about Danielle Reyes that we should talk about as we get ready to watch her play the Traitors?
Man, I'm so nervous. I think that's my issue, is that I will not sit here and say Danielle is the greatest player. Like, she definitely has flaws. We've seen her beaten in the game, you know, like, and Big Brother 7, she lost. She wasn't robbed. My girl got beat down. Okay. And she was on the ropes for a lot of the game, but she's so resilient and she's so smart. She's quick and she's likable. I think that's the other thing. It's like, you got to want to get her out of the game. And a lot of times, you know, like, just her personality is going to keep her, you know, maybe like ingratiated with the group. But again, once you get the ball rolling on somebody like Danielle, I think it's really easy to be like, nah, she did it. You know, Roddy was the first one who identified, like, nah, she called me the devil. And I think I can flip the script on her when it comes time to, you know, to vote. And Roddy really held her feet to the fire. But in Big Brother 7, it was like, how do you argue with voting out Danielle? You know, you're telling Erica, you're not going to beat her. And everyone's like, yeah. And Erica's like, yeah, I'm not going to beat you. I'm not going to beat you. And she's like, but at least I would take you to the end. You think Chilltown's going to take you to the end? You know, so
she did get to the end.
They did not take her to the end. You know, yeah. But, you know, that's the thing. I think that she's a big personality, but she's also very shrewd. And she's been waiting a long time to play another game like this. And I think she's been prepping and she's been doing her homework in a way that a lot of these people have probably not been doing. And so, I'm very interested to see how this turns out for her.
Also, not that it matters so much for the challenges, Pooya, but I believe that Danielle is somebody who stays in great shape. I think that for a long time she tweets, I think, like, about Orange Theory and, you know, PRs. And so that Danielle is somebody who, you know, stays active.
Absolutely. And I think it is definitely underrated what Chappell just said, and that I think if there's anybody that studied the tapes and has been keeping an eye on this show closely and understanding of the show, I think it's her. And I'm very excited to see how she plays. Now, I'm worried because this could go a couple of ways, but I feel the worry that I felt with Cirie, in that Cirie, obviously, we know, and skip ahead if you haven't
watched. On Traitors or Big Brother?
Traitors.
Both.
Well, for Chappell, both, always and forever. But it was oh wow, Cerie's on this cast. Oh my God, they're gonna get her out immediately. I gotta save her every episode like it's the last. And then lo and behold, she's in the whole show, top to bottom, beginning to end.
Yeah.
And I think Danielle could go cover to cover, but also I feel like I'm going to feel similarly where every episode, Chappell, we got to light up those candles, get the prayer circle going, and just hope she makes it to the next one. And then by the end, be like, wow, we were foolish. She never should have doubted her for a second.
Mm-hmm. She likes to be very quiet, right? And in a way, in the Traitors, that could be a problem, right? A lot of times they're like, that person's being too quiet. But we've seen people, not to spoil recent seasons, but we've seen people who have been very quiet and they've known when to pop up and make a move and change the entire tide of the game. And I think that's Danielle's strength. For me, I need Danielle to be a traitor just because the odds of her surviving in the game is a lot better. You know, being a faithful, you could just get picked off night one for not doing anything, for just existing. Whereas being a traitor, at least you got a buffer for some of these votes. And so, although I would love to see how she plays a faithful game, they got to make my girl a traitor. It's just, we got to see her work in action. And then, like Pooya said, maybe we'll look up and we're at the end of the season and she's still there and we're all wondering what the hell happened. But if she takes it, I'm going to be so happy. Oh, my God.
Pooya, I really think that she's got a good shot as a faithful, too.
Yeah, I think you put her on either team, Rob, and I definitely could see arguments on both ends. I think she's well equipped to handle either side. And my only worry, and obviously this is a small worry, Rob and Chappell, is that people start examining the quote-unquote meta, examining the cookie cutterness that could be the case, especially if they do it again this season, where someone's like, Big Brother and Survivor, huh? Well, Dan was a traitor last season. Mm-hmm. Oh, and Danielle Reyes is as good as Dan, allegedly. That's what they're saying. Okay, then let's look at her. And then you can't, it doesn't matter how good you play, you can't escape that sus, whether you're good or whether you're faithful old traitor. So that's a worry I have. I still think it's too soon for anyone to look at the game that way. So it's not a big worry, but it's a little worry.
Yeah, and if you have other fans of the show, you know, and we don't really know if anybody else has been doing their research, we assume they haven't, but we don't know. And so if they come in and they say, yeah, this person was a traitor on this show, and they picked a Big Brother person for this show, and they picked a Survivor person. So let's narrow it down to those competition reality show people, right? Let's leave the housewives out of this. We'll come back for the Phaedras of the world, but we do need to talk about, you know, these people who are known for gameplay. And I think Danielle, if anybody knows her name, they're going to know what she's synonymous for. No one's going to remember, oh, she lost reindeer games. They're going to be talking about Big Brother 3 and Big Brother 7. And she showed up and showed out. So I'm with Pooya. I'm nervous, y'all. But fingers crossed. I'm charging my moon water.
I feel good. I'll be that. Look, I understand that you're nervous, Chappell, but I have faith in Danielle here.
I have faith in her.
Not to say you don't. Not that I don't want to say you don't. Yeah. But I feel good about her prospects.
I thought she would go win reindeer games. Matter of fact, my issue was that I was blindsided by the fact that everybody else wasn't rooting for her to win reindeer games. When I got online and saw people like, Britney, Queen, you take her out, I was like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And don't even get me started about when they voted for Cameron for AFP. I was like, Cerie is right there. So I've been wrong before, Rob. That's all I'm saying. But I hope this time that Danielle just finally gets the win that she deserves. Like I said, her and Cerie are kind of like sisters, in my opinion, when it comes to these reality games, where it's like they just couldn't get the win, even though it looked like it was right there for them and everything was aligned. Chappell, this could be her moment.
Have Danielle and Cerie ever interacted in any public way?
I would have to know, think that, and once the replay is Big Brother, there has to be a connection, right? But even we were talking about Boston Rob, Cerie and Danielle and Boston Rob, that's still the same. Same era too when it comes to reality TV. So maybe
I'm sure Danielle has seen Cerie's stuff. I don't know if Cerie has ever watched the old Big Brother stuff.
Cerie has never seen Big Brother before she walked on the system of Big Brother.
She still might not have ever seen it.
I don't think she's ever watched the show. Despite being on the show, I'd be shocked if she told me
she's definitely not gonna watch it now.
Yeah, I mean, I almost quit. But as far as Danielle goes, I think that her and Cerie, if they ever linked up, it would the power would just be too powerful. You know, the mother quake we would have to survive. Yeah, it would be crazy. So I don't know. Man, I gotta do a deep dive. Maybe I'm not the expert that I thought I am. I need to go look in these Instagram posts and see if Cerie and Danielle have ever crossed paths. Maybe they were at Hearts of Reality together or something. They gotta do something.
Okay. All right. Well, One day, we'll see. Put it on your bingo card for 2025. All right.
Traitors
Chappell,
All-Stars.
We're going to be watching Danielle and all the Traitors as this thing kicks off January 9th. Pooya and I will be with you for every step of the way. Make sure you don't miss any of our preseason coverage. Subscribe. WeKnowTraitors.com. Chappell, what else are you working on?
I got a lot going on, but first, let me give a shout out to Pooya and Scally for their Traitors coverage. So good. I'm tuned in all
Traitors
the time.
Canada.
When they talked about Traitors Canada, I was tuned in. Pooya is obviously an expert of the Traitors. We know Traitors.com. This is great. This is great. Check it out. If you're not subscribed, what are you doing? Get here and keep all this coverage because you might just watch.
I guess you don't care about the Traitors.
Yeah, but they watch for the US season, but they missed this other stuff. No, there's some good stuff going on, and nobody breaks it down like Pooya and all of his other co-hosts. So check that out. And then catch me, recapkickback.com. It's where I'm doing all my podcasting. I'm also on RHAP talking about scripted shows with Sasha, talking about Netflix shows with you. I got Sex Lives of College Girl with Sasha, Nothing But Netflix with you. We got some Squid Game coming in the near future as well. So check out that. And then make sure you follow me on all social media platforms at Recap Kickback to keep up with all the stuff I have going on and more.
Yeah, if you like games where people are getting murdered left and right, check out Chappell talking about Squid Game Season 2 next week.
Yeah. If you subscribe to Nothing But Netflix, then you already knew this was coming. But if not, see you on Christmas. You know, it'll be a good time.
Okay. All right. Pooya, what else is coming up for you?
Well, thankfully, Chappell put an amazing plug together for the Traitors content. Obviously, we're going to be premiering the new season, Rob, together January 9th. January 1st, UK Season 3 comes out as well. So if you're looking for a dose of the double dip like I am, join me and Annabelle talking about UK on a weekly there too. Find me on all platforms at Pooyaism, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Pooya. That's where I am when I won't be podcasting.
Okay. And then tomorrow, the aforementioned Brian Scally joins us as we talk about Jeremy Collins on tomorrow's preview. Don't miss it. How do you think Danielle Reyes is going to do? We're asking you who just watched this whole video. Let us know in the comments. Make your predictions for Traitors Season 3. Thank you for joining us. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.